What is up, everybody? I got a nothing call. The unit's not doing AC, it's not doing heat. We've been out here a couple times already this week to try to see if we can get access to the unit. We had to get the property management to cut us an access hole. So supposedly that's done. We're going to go in here, try and see if we can get them going. Let's do it. Hey,
Come on in.
they finally got it cut open.
Yeah, you put it right there. I'm about to jump in. If we need me, just knock on the door.
All right, I'll get it going.
And I bought a filter too. On the thing there because the deuce I needed once I bought one. It's in the kitchen.
That's fine. I'll go ahead and put it in
All
one.
right, thank you. If you need me, just knock on the door.
All right.
All right.
Go grab my ladder. All right, before I completely go up in the attic, I'm gonna go ahead and set the thermostat to heat. Bump the temp down to about 76. Let's go pop up in here. Let's see where I gotta go. Move this straight up. Where do I need to go to get to this air handler? Way down there. Oh, I'm gonna have to flip over. Oh God, this ductwork is just horrendous too. Alrighty then. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I'm about to start signing up for them Planet Fitness yoga classes, cause up in these attics, man, you be having to do some real Spider-Man type stuff just to get over here. I don't know why the unit is facing this way, and there's a platform over here, and someone was too lazy to get the old train air handler out of here. But good God, what are we dealing with here? 2.5 ton. It is a heat pump. This is a 2017 unit. Let's make sure. I'm gonna get the panels off, make sure we got power. Sorry for being out of breath. That was trying to get over this was the most difficult part, for real. Got the panel off. Blower doesn't seem too bad. Looks like somebody had issues last time they were getting it out or something, but I don't know if that evap coil has been replaced or not. But if you can look right there, you can see there's a burn spot on the low voltage fuse. So I'm not sure what's caused it. I previously, the first time I came here, I went outside to the condenser because obviously I couldn't get up here because they didn't have that attic access opened way back there. I checked at the condenser, didn't have any low voltage, and I made sure the contactor coil was reading, you know, within good range of a new one, and it was reading like 14.8 ohms. So I didn't think that was the issue. I didn't see any nicks there on the wiring outside by the metal line set cover. It was kind of rubbing against it, but nothing crazy. It's a high voltage wire, but it's a little bit of scraping there. I really hope that there's not a legitimate low voltage short, although that's probably what this is going to be. I'll be lucky if I replace that fuse, and that's all that's wrong. Now I don't have a new low voltage fuse in. I've just got my little popper. I think that's the 5 amp one. Got it plugged into the wire coming straight off the transformer, and then the other red wire that ties into the thermostat 24 volt wire. The only thing the system is running right now is the God, I'm over here feeling stupid. Is the heat strips. It's in a delay. I heard the little relays and everything click in for the heat strips, so I could probably just not guess on that. I'm certain that that's what it's doing. if I set my meter to amps, bada boom, bada bang, clamp that one. Okay, never mind. Never mind. So what did I hear click? Oh, fan relay. Never mind. That's my fault. I forgot that little buddy there. But the heat strip should be cutting on. I mean, I have the heat set for 76. Reading 71. What is this? Which wire is that? Oh, I'll go into the red wire that's right there. Never mind. Just a waiting game at this point. I think I'm gonna drill a hole right there and a hole over here, just so I can get delta T. When the condenser does kick on, because I know I'm trying my best to not have to come back over here for something. So I know if the contactor pulls in outside, you know, after the delay and everything goes through for the heat pump condenser outside, then I know everything out there should be fine. If I hear the condenser and everything kick on and then it's still running and then I hear the heat strips, you know, try to energize or something like that, I'm pretty much just waiting at this point. There's not a direct short to ground at this point in time that I can see. That's like literally the problem with shorts. Because I know a lot of people will say that, like, where'd I put the darn piece then? Oh. I know a lot of people will say that these just don't go bad. But it's... I feel like that's like a case-by-case basis, because I have come across a couple of them where they just go bad. Like, there's not a short. I'll sit there, jiggle wires around, you know, and nothing will pop the fuse again. I'll put a new 5 amp in, go, and I won't go back to that property for a while. Now, could we say that, you know, now I could probably say that could be due to like a whole bunch of different reasons, but, you know, obviously the tenants, the property management may call another company, you know, things of that nature. But I'm just gonna be devil's advocate here and say sometimes the fuse can just go bad. It's not always something, and it's something that I had to learn, because I had that same thought, you know, coming straight out of trade school. And I come down here, like, I come across a couple systems with 3 amp fuses in them, and first thing my boss said was like, hey, sometimes those 3 amp fuses just don't last when the systems are running non-stop. During like the summertime on 100-degree days. He's like, someday you put a 5 amp in there, we won't be back. And that's held true to some degree, but man, I really do not want to have to call back over here. So I think I'm just gonna sit here, jiggle some wires, and see if something pops. Alright, so we got these wires right here. Jiggle. Touch things together. Tighten. Make sure the wire nuts are tightened. In heat mode, I could see that being an issue, but I mean, man, people rarely ever run the heat down here. So right now, I'll just pull that kind of tighter against the insulation and not necessarily on the pipe, because during heat, dang, it's already in heat mode. The pipe's hot. All right, so the condenser kicked on. Yeah, that's significantly hotter. What about do we have the heat strips calling yet? No, I still don't have the heat strips calling. Nothing's tripping. There are a bunch of like loose copper wires right here that just kind of concern me. And what is that? What is this? All of this crap. I don't like that at all. Trying to just inspect I'm not getting nothing. I'm worried because I'd hate to have to come back here. I'd hate for this to be a callback. Now, I'm not going to say this is the reason, but it could be. I don't think, okay, so this wiring right here is for the thermostat. For the thermostat, they're using brown for common. I don't know who sheathed all the wiring back, but you guys can see there's a bunch of wires that are just mangled and ridiculous. But the yellow there is what I was concerned about, because then I pulled the condenser wiring apart, and I only know that this is a condenser wiring because, you know, obviously I was taking apart the wire slowly, but you could also just tell by the colors. This one is using gray for common. Oh, what was the other thing? It's not using blue. It's using just these four right here. Reversing valve, power, heat strips, and contactor coil. All these other ones, but it did have the brown wire down here was used originally. Oh no, that's my gray. What is this? Oh, that's white. I'm stupid. I'm sorry. I misspoke. Speaking too fast. The gray is used for the common on the condenser wiring, because when I took this off, gray was hooked up to the brown coming from the blues that are used as the common on this. So I'm probably not making a whole lot of sense explaining the colors and where they go on this, just because I was like piecing it together as I took them apart. But pretty much I'm gonna base this short off of all the nicks that I see. Where's the nick I saw in this yellow one? I saw it. Where'd it go? Don't play with me now. This yellow wire is nicked somewhere. It was there it is. There it is. Right there. Yeah, yellow wire's nicked. This yellow wire is nicked. And all the wiring in general was just abysmal. So I'm going to do my best with the little bit of slack I have in the low voltage wiring and make it look cleaner. Alright, so for all the thermostat wiring, I didn't have to really, ring my strippers around the coating, the brown coating, and then pull it back. I just pulled on one of the wires, ripped it back about a good 4 inches, cut off where the old stuff was, and now we've got all new wiring, or all new connections right here at the wire nuts with no nicking. So it shouldn't pop any more fuses with all the rattling that's going on in here. I even looked on the back of the paneling to see if I saw any scorching from where a short would have touched over here, and from what I can see, only potential scorch marks look to be just like dust from where the blower and everything is. So I'm gonna put the panel back on and pray to God I don't need to come back in here, because I gotta crawl way back over there. Now, before I try to let you know what I believe went wrong with the unit, when did it mess up? Before Helene or after Helene? After Helene?
Yeah.
Was it like as soon as you got power, it just didn't want to cut on and work?
Right.
That's what happened?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, as I can say, it was a better situation than what most people have had to fix after Hurricane Helene came through and everybody got the power back on. A lot of bigger components were going bad for some people. From what I could tell, I don't think Hurricane Helene actually caused your system to mess up at all.
Okay.
It just seemed like some wires lost their coating. Imagine your extension cord, the piece that would plug into the wall. Sometimes it'll break off and you'll actually see the wiring.
Okay.
Something like that is pretty much what had happened. It's the best way I can try to explain it to you without being super scientific and a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo.
Yeah.
Just a wire was exposed when it shouldn't be exposed.
Okay.
I got it covered up, cleaned up a lot of things up there that I thought might also contribute to an issue, but other than that, it cut right back on. I mean, even the outdoor unit, I know that thing's running, so I get
the thing in there.
The
filter.
I didn't do that yet. I didn't do
Okay.
that. I will.
Okay.
I feel like I need to do some yoga.
Or something?
No, I appreciate it. I'm not as limber as I used to. And it's crazy to say that because I'm already young. I'm already young. But I need to take some Pilates or something. That was crazy up there. I don't know how I see what you were saying though, when you told me that they moved the unit from wherever it was in here to like down there. Because there's a walkway going towards where your laundry room is, where that cutout is. Yeah. But I don't see how somebody could have fit in and out of that because of how close the roof is to right there. So they must have just been a real short team of people to put that unit in and not have to.
The guy that came yesterday was short.
He was?
Yeah, he's a little bit taller than me.
Okay. Where did you say the filter was? Just right around the corner right there?
We mean where I put it at? It's
yeah.
In the kitchen on the floor.
On the floor?
Yeah, in the kitchen.
All right, I'll go ahead and get that swapped out for you. Well,
thank you so much.
If you have any other issues, you just let them know and they'll give us a holler.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's probably the most cramped attic I've been in a while. Not necessarily because it was low pitched. I mean, I could sit on that platform, but it was a pain getting to the unit. With those trusses, with the way the trusses are for the roof, I get it. I mean, when I got there, it looked like there was about 2 of them knocked out of the way anyway. So I feel like it would have just been better to flip the unit around instead of the orientation of which they had it. So if we got to go back there, at least now we have access. We didn't before. I wish I might still have a picture of the initial access and where it was. But like as soon as you put your head through the attic access that was originally there in her laundry room, you could probably put your head up there and then your head is like right at the roof line. I don't know how somebody got out of there. I don't know how somebody thought that was the right way, to the right placement for an attic access. I truly believe they just got rid of the old one. The original one that was there was where the return actually is. That 20 by 25 return. That was the original one. And you could tell because of the trim cutting right there. But I mean, it's very rare on rentals we see the trim like that for returns. Not saying you can't, but on these cheap rentals, it's highly unlikely. Let me know in the comments if you guys think that the nicks in the wire are what caused it, with how kind of close out to the panel the wires were sitting. I'm wondering if the yellow wires where they were nicked, if it was touching the aluminum and then causing the low voltage short. I'm wondering if that was it. I don't think the power getting cut back on blew the low volt fuse. If so, I feel like I would have came across that on a bunch of other houses. But ever since Hurricane Helene, when the power was cut back on, most things that were going out were people's blower motors and capacitors. So this might have just been a case where, it really just was the fuse, or it was intermittent with that nicked wiring. I have no idea. But I just know right now from what I was able to do, I couldn't recreate the problem. The fuse stayed on. It ran in heat mode and in cool mode, so I know the reversing valve isn't shorted out either. But other than that, just gonna have to play it by ear and hope we don't get called back out there anytime soon. With all that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video today. If you liked it, hit the like button, please. Be greatly appreciated. If you're new to the channel, it's your first time watching any of my videos, go double back and check out some of my older, more popular ones. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.